And we are joined for the first time by Thomas Willis, who is the founder and editor of Predlines.com, a great website for Predators fans. Thomas, welcome. Good to have you here.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
All right, so let's get right to it. Barry Trotz is gone. What was your initial reaction to the move on Monday?
I mean, it's sad on a personal level. Trotz has long been known as a really kind guy to the media and especially his community. So it's definitely sad, but it's also the end of an era for sure. He's obviously the only coach they've ever had, and so it's kind of hopefully saying we're ready to take that next step forward. We're kind of ready to move away from that infancy stage, which the Nashville Predators have been in for almost the 15 seasons they've been around. So maybe it's kind of saying it's time to move on to that next step.
Yeah, Preds GM David Poile saying, you know, we're not an expansion team anymore. He also says this is a wake-up call for the entire organization, basically putting everybody on notice, including himself. How much does David Poile have to do? How much blame should he take with him for the Preds not making the playoffs the last couple of years?
It has to be, you know, a decent amount for sure. Obviously, he's the one that's signing these free agents. You know, a big knock against Poile this past offseason was that he signed 4 different players, one of which he shipped away to the Edmonton Oilers. That didn't make a lot of sense. It kind of was feeding into that same system that Nashville has had for too long, which is that defensive game that cannot produce any goals and not enough goals to win. And yet he just signed more of those gritty third-line kind of forwards, which didn't help the situation at all. So he obviously is over Barry Trotz and is able to, you know, kind of have the sacrificial lamb right now. But, I mean, he's on a hot seat as well. I'd say if they don't make the playoffs again this year, it could be the end of Poile in Nashville as well.
All right, and we've heard a lot of names being bantied about as to who Barry Trotz's replacement might be. Who are you hearing?
My leading candidate right now would be Peter Laviolette. He was fired after 3 games this past season with the Philadelphia Flyers. He won a Stanley Cup with the Carolina Hurricanes and took the Flyers to the finals in 2010, but lost to the Blackhawks. So he, in my mind, is kind of the leading candidate right now.
How about John Tortorella to make those press conferences pretty interesting?
That would add some stress to my life for sure. You know.
No question about it. He's Thomas Willis. You can follow him on Twitter at Tom A. Willis, and it's Predlines.com. Great website for your Preds fans out there. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks so much.